Let's start by reading through example 2. It says 2 shares of Diversity Software and 1 share of Coburn Electronics are valued at $21. 6 shares of Diversity Software and 5 shares of Coburn Electronics are worth $87. What is the value of 1 share of each stock? So we're looking for the value or the price of each of the different shares. So we have Diversity Software and Coburn Electronics. In part A, let's write down our variables. So our first variable we can use is for the Diversity Software. And that is going to be D. So let's use D to equal the price of 1 share of Diversity Software. Our other one is Coburn Electronics. So let's use a C for that one. So we'll let C equal the price of 1 share of Coburn Electronics. Then what we have to do is we have to write out our equations. So if we look at it, 2 shares of Diversity and 1 share of Coburn Electronics are valued at $21. So we can write an equation for that. 2 shares of Diversity would be 2 times D, plus 1 share of Coburn Electronics is 1 times C, and that's equal to $21. In the second sentence, it says 6 shares of Diversity Software and 5 shares of Coburn Electronics are $87. So we can write 6D plus 5C equals $87. Then we're going to move to part C in order to solve. So in part C, we're going to rewrite the equation. 2D plus C equals 21, and 6D plus 5C is equal to 87. So let's move this over a little bit so we can go through and solve it. If I want to solve, the first thing I have to do is multiply. I'm going to use the elimination method. And since D's are first, let's just go ahead and multiply the D. I can do that easily by multiplying the 2 by a negative 3. So that means I'm going to multiply the whole equation by negative 3. And that takes our top equation to be negative 6D minus 3C equal to negative 63. Our bottom equation stays the same, 6D plus 5C equals 87. And now we can go ahead and add these two together. Negative 6D and 6D are going to cancel. Negative 3C plus 5C is 2C. And negative 63 plus 87 is 24. Then we can divide both sides by 2, and we get an answer that C is equal to 12. We have to plug that back in again in order to find D. I'm going to plug it into the top, so 2D plus 12 equals 21. Subtract 12 from both sides, I get 2D equal to 9. And then dividing both sides by 2, I get D equal to 4.5. So the last thing I have to do is I need to go to part D and write my complete sentence. I would say 1 share of Diversity Software costs $4.50, and 1 share of Coburn Electronics costs $12.